Addressing the issue of sexual violence in the U.S. Army. The issue of sexual assault persists in the ranks of the American Armed Forces. Thousands of military personnel fall victim to harassment and discrimination every year. In the past decade, complaints of sexual violence in the U.S. military have increased. Previously, the U.S. authorities have already admitted the existence of this problem in the Army. However, the solution has not been found, and it is still not possible to achieve positive results. Therefore, the increase in the number of sexual assaults should be discussed, considering its reasons and factors that contribute to its spread. It is also essential to determine preventive measures that can be applied to terminate the violence in the military. The Pentagon does not mask this problem in the Army. The department's annual reporting indicates an increase in the number of victims. The prevalence rate of sexual assault is estimated at 4 to 7% among women and 1 to 2% among men, which is higher compared to same-age civilian cases. Sexual violence in the U.S. military is associated with the aspect of hazing. Individual risk factors for sexual violence in the military include alcohol and drug use. It is also supported by hostility towards women, hypermasculinity, and suicidal behavior. The current approach to recruit training does not reduce the risk of sexual assault and harassment as it recognizes hazing as a historical tradition. Hazing is characterized by gender stereotypes and abusive attitudes. Sexual conquest is encouraged in combat training. Some rites of passage can turn into situations where soldiers may experience physical and psychological trauma. In some cases of initiation, recruits may interpret them as sexual assault. For instance, the crossing the line ceremony includes rituals, when penetration of body orifices occurs, being the crucial factor in gaining respect among fellow officers. Thus, some unit commanders decide not to notice or treat hazing as sexual assault. Sexual assault is directed not only at women in the military but also at men. For example, according to Wood and Toppelberg, male servants are accused of not acting according to men's gender roles. Moreover, a culture of violence begins at U.S. military academies. In systems where upper-class cadets dominate younger cadets, there is extensive hazing, including sexual assault by senior cadets. Hence, the problem should be discussed on all levels of training and serving, involving administrative and military institutions. Sexual violence in the military can be eliminated through particular programs and the ability to report such incidents anonymously, creating a database of known cases. Not all cases of sexual assault in the Army are made public. Individual anonymous interviews indicate that military personnel experience higher levels of sexual harassment than they report to commanders. Furthermore, there are several sexual assault college prevention programs such as Bringing the Bystander, the Men's Program, and the Sexual Assault Victim Intervention. The results show that these plans' implementation increased service members' responsibility for preventing sexual violence. They should be applied not only in colleges but also as a part of soldiers' instruction. To sum up, the statistics on sexual assault in the U.S. Army remain at the same level from year to year. The reasons are related to interpersonal relationships and social risk factors. Moreover, sexual assault in the U.S. military directly correlates with high gender stereotypes and violent hazing. Because of the sexist attitudes prevailing among male military personnel, women are more likely to be targets of sexual violence. Nevertheless, it also affects men. Sexual assault in the U.S. military is systematic. However, despite all preventive measures, the issue has not been resolved. It is still unclear to the U.S. authorities whether its protective measures have led to a decrease in the level of sexual violence in the military, or the situation is the opposite.